Welcome to my kitchen. Armageddon cooking. All right, welcome to my kitchen. Key for the ground beef jerky is extra lean ground beef. Lean ground just ain't gonna cut it. There's just too much fat in there. It'll become messy, drippy. So I've got extra lean ground beef. So I'll be working with half of this in a bowl and then the other half. We're gonna take half of our beef, which is 1.5 pounds. I have 3 total. Let's just break that up to begin with so that every little fiber is touched by those heavenly spices. Well, the more you break it up, the more meat is exposed to our spices. I prefer really big bowls, much easier, much more fun to work with, as opposed to everything spilling over the edges of a small bowl. So use your biggest bowl. I mean, I could have done all 3 pounds to be honest, but I just find it's better coverage taking half. So into this, we're gonna add 1.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1.5 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of onion powder, 1.5 tablespoons garlic powder. We've got 1 teaspoon and a bit of coriander. Nice flavor. We've got 1 teaspoon and a bit of salt. This is Himalayan. And then some Montreal steak spice, 1.5 teaspoons. Pepper, 1.5 tablespoons. Boom. Now, again, you can make this with just salt, some pepper, but I really love the flavoring of this. I've made it a number of times and this has really become perfected. Work those spices nicely through the meat. Ground beef jerky, fraction of the cost of what you'd buy in the store. So if you like them a little hotter, you can add some hot pepper flakes. I don't take many because I'm a wimp. That's enough. So we're gonna put this meat aside. We're gonna do the other half. Second half done, let's add the other 1.5 pounds. 3 pounds of beautiful extra lean ground beef mixed with our spices. Wonderful. So obviously for jerky, what thing you'll need is a dehydrator. This particular model is Nesco. 5 plates. Now this top mat, this is the silicone mat. This is what I lie my lean ground beef meat on. Very thin, so you can see these trays lift off one another. And we just stack it about halfway through, which is about 2 hours. I just take the bottom one, put it to the top. And we're gonna spread this really thin. The thinner the better. Think real beef jerky. That's how thin you want it. So you really wanna feel the thinness, really pushing it outwards. See that? Pushing it out with the fingers and really getting it as thin as possible. This is where you're gonna save a lot of money. If we were to try and lay this meat onto a rack like this, I mean, it would just ooze right through. There's no way that's possible. So with this finely meshed silicone mat, it slides off nicely onto the racks. Working that meat out to the edges, whatever direction it'll go. Okay, and back towards me. Really spreading it as thin as you can. You can feel with your fingers. Working the meat into itself. Just a bit we need. All right, that's another rack finished. Okay, bring in our next rack. We're just gonna flip that upside down. Carefully gonna release it from one edge and then slowly lift. Perfect, nicely in place. We'll add it to our third rack. I think we should get one more. Okay, so we're on our 4th rack and I'm looking at having exactly 4 racks for 3 pounds of meat, which is fantastic. Like working with clay, takes some practice. After about 600 racks, you get the feel of it. Of course, I jest. And rack number 4. And on target. Let gravity do its thing. Okay, look at this. Peel back, Beautiful. Look at this. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 delicious racks of ground beef jerky. These are going to go in for 4 hours. We'll see after. And it's after. Let's take a look. Oh, wow. Look at these 4 trays of beautiful ground beef jerky. Look at the texture on this. Let's try a piece. Yes! All right, so we got 4 trays of jerky. Look at that. Now I have to tell you that this is fairly spicy, the version I gave. If you want to tone down the spice, just cut it in half. So that is a lot of jerky. Just a pair of scissors, and again, oh, loose piece, gotta take care of that. Yeah, these have a nice zing to them. Those hot pepper flakes make a massive difference. So if you're into hot and spicy, feel free to follow that recipe to the T. If not, tone it down, cut it in half. Okay, one of the cheaper places you can buy beef jerky is on Amazon. And this is a 12-pack, 80 gram, for $96. Then that's about 2 pounds, just over. So similar in taste level, at least for me. This is $25. Extra lean ground beef jerky. Fantastic. Thanks for joining me today. Another edition of Armageddon Cooking. We're Armageddon Cooking.